What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny. Today I'm here to show my latest Elvis finds. I said in my last video that I was going to show those in a separate video, but this may be a pretty long one. But before I do that, I just want to do a couple announcements that I heard and stuff that's coming up on my channel that I want to do that's sort of affiliated with Elvis. So I'll probably use them as an example of some stuff. But, okay, so the new release is coming out. I think it's stupid. The Best of the 68 Comeback Special. It's basically corresponding with the special, the tribute special. Start with Blake Shelton hosting. Corresponding with that. It's basically, selections from the sit-down and stand-up shows of the original 68 special with 3 studio bonus tracks. And then there's one new song, All-Star Tribute on If I Can Dream with Elvis's vocals. So I probably will not get that release. I'm going to try, maybe if I hear that song somewhere, If I Can Dream, the new version that's coming out, I will review it. I probably will not get that release, so don't look for that. But this is just stuff we have already. There's no point in getting it. So that's that. And there's 3 new FTD releases. The first one being Elvis from Wichita to St. Paul, I think it's called. They're both from 74. I mean, I wish they would switch it up. They've been in the mid-70s a lot lately, FTD, with his live stuff. It's kind of annoying. I hope they switch it up soon. And then they have the new FTD vinyl of Kissin' Cousins. So that's good for whoever gets that. That's pretty cool. And then I thought about getting it, but I probably won't because of the price. But I would like to have that book. It's a new book from a photographer. What's his name? Through the Lens of somebody. Tom Hellington? Is that it? Anyways, and it comes with a bonus CD of a short concert from Little Rock, Arkansas. So that's coming out. If anything, I'll get that book, but there's a huge chance I won't. So don't take my word for that. But anyways. Alright, so the next couple things I want to say is, as far as Elvis goes, I want to do a video talking about how to identify albums. His albums, the different pressings, maybe different sources to use. So I'll probably make a video doing that. I'll use an album as an example to maybe how to identify a reissue or an original pressing, and I'll give you some sources that I know that are good. And I'll just give you, I guess, my take on that. And then I want to do, like, I know other people have done this, but I would like to do a video on how to, like, take care of your record collection and organize it and all that, and tips. So maybe I'll do that too. So look for those in the future. Okay? But without further ado, let me show you my new finds. I just want to say, the very last thing I'm going to show, it's, oh my gosh, it's a shot in the dark, me getting this. It's awesome. There's going to be a story behind it. And maybe a couple other things. But I found some good stuff, I feel like. There's a couple things in here I'm really excited about. So let's get started. First, I'm going to show some LPs. Alright, first thing I have. I don't do a lot of reissues, but I decided to get it. This is the Friday music version of 50 Million Elvis Fans Can't Be Wrong. Gold Records Volume 2. This is the Friday music. But this is the exclusive to Books A Million and Second and Charles. 1 of 500. On the white vinyl. Really cool. I think is it Curtis Simpkins, I think, that had this? I think he showed this one time. It's really cool. I just thought the white vinyl was cool. I think the reason why I bought it, even though I don't do reissues, it's one of my favorite album covers of Elvis. In the usual gatefold. This originally came out in 2013. This is when they were more creative with their gatefolds. But other than that, I mean, I think they do a great job. If people collect these, I understand why, but they do great mastering on these Friday music releases. So this is the first thing I got. The reissue of 50 Million Elvis Fans Can't Be Wrong. Gold Records Volume 2. Just cool to have. I have Volume 1 on red vinyl from Friday Music. Alright, so the next thing I want to show, this is an upgrade. Beautiful shape. I went to this one record store, man. They had a lot of Elvis stuff. I could have went broke. I had to be selective. The last 2 things are pretty cool. But this is an upgrade. My other one wasn't in bad shape, but this has the shrink with the hype sticker. This is the original stereo press of Frankie and Johnny with the hype sticker advertising the bonus photo, which I have already. So I can put it with this. And I have a stereo. It's funny, because I had my other copy for years. I have a stereo cover with the mono vinyl. And I had that for, God, I would say at least 10 years, and I never noticed it. So now I have this, and this is I think it's a 1S from what I remember looking at it, and it's actually a Hollywood pressing. For some reason, the Hollywood pressings seem like they're more valuable, and I'm going to talk about all that stuff when I do that one video I mentioned. I would like to do identifying Elvis records. So here it is, Frankie and Johnny in the Shrink, beautiful shape with the hype sticker, nice. All right, this next one I was very excited about. After I looked more into it, I was just a tad disappointed, but it is an original pressing from 1960. This is an original pressing stereo version of Elviss Back. When I saw this, I was very excited. It's in good shape. The only wear is some on the cover, like right here, that, this, and that. But there's no like seam splits and nothing. It's in beautiful shape. Inside's beautiful. There's just some staining on the top. But other than that, man, beautiful front cover. And I say this all the time about this album. This album, for some reason, is very hard to find in good shape. And if you find the stereo, it's really hard to find. Usually it just gets so much wear, like right here on his face. And so I was very happy to get it. It doesn't have the sticker with the, what do you call it, the song titles. But I got home and I discovered, no offense to imports, but this looks just like a US album when you look at it at first glance. But this is actually a Canadian pressing from their Montreal plant of this album. But I thought it was a US copy because I'm going to show the vinyl now. The reason how I found out it was a Canadian pressing was the vinyl. And the label looks like a US label. But at the bottom it says Made in Canada by R.C. Victor, Montreal. But vinyl's in beautiful shape. The original label, look at that. All the shine on it. So yeah, I was just a tad disappointed. Still cool to have. Still hard to find. In stereo. Really happy to have it. Now I finally have a stereo copy of Elviss Back. Maybe one day I'll get a US copy. We'll see. Alright, the last LP. I was very excited to get this. It's a rare pressing of this album with the cover. I just mentioned they're doing the FTD vinyl of it. Just a second ago I just mentioned. This is Kissing Cousins. Without, if anyone knows, they're collecting of Elvis. Without the cast photo right here. Usually, any other pressing you see a picture with Elvis with the cast. Him as like Jody and Josh. Those are the two guys he played. But yeah, this is the original mono pressing of it. Very happy to have it. Now I have two. Now I have the original. I have another copy of this in mono with the cast photo, and it has the big mono letters. This one says the monorail, whatever the hell it's called. This is around the time they started changing to that label. But this is a very short-lived without the cast photo. And it still has some of the shrink on it. It's missing some, as you can see, like right here. But it still has the shrink in the back. Beautiful shape. No wear at all, really. It's awesome. So I'm very happy to have this. I was very excited when I found it. Got it for a good price. You know how much I got this for? 20 bucks. Very happy to get it. Couldn't pass it up. Like I said, man, he had a lot of good stuff, that guy. Man, I could have went broke. But anyways. Alright. So now we have the 45s. There's something at the very end. Stick around. It's awesome. Yeah. So, let's just get started. Ed just did a video. He played a couple of 45s in there, and this is one of them. So I got my copy of it. I'm like, I didn't know there was a Third Man Records version of this. I mean, I knew the record store day, but here's the 45 of My Happiness. And that's when your heartaches begin. His, first little thing he ever recorded when he was super young. So, it's cool to have. I thought it would be cool to have. Alright, next is a promo copy of one of my favorite songs of the 60s. This is a promo, beautiful shape, like it's never been played. Awesome. If I Can Dream. And the B-side, which isn't a bad soundtrack song, pretty good. Edge of Reality. So, yeah, beautiful shape. Really glad to find this. Alright, so next thing. This is I had this already. I was trying to get an upgrade. It's in good shape, considering. I'm going to tell you what I mean. This is One Night with You and I Got Stung. It's very good shape. The one I have, I got this as an upgrade. The one I have, it has like, I'm very anal if anyone knows about me and my collection. It had stamps of like prices on it. So I didn't want it. But other than that, that sleeve would have been mint. This one's in good shape, but there's like staple holes on it. I mean, it's probably not that big of a deal. Really. But you know, that's just the way I am. I mean, it's not torn any seams or anything. So, I may or may not part with this. I don't know. I may part with it. I got it for a good price. And the vinyl's in good shape, too. Of One Night with You. One Night and I Got Stung. So, yeah. So I found this. I guess it's still a good upgrade. I gotta stop being so picky. So, there you go. Alright, last but certainly not least. Okay, so when I found all the other stuff, me and my cousin, I mentioned him a few times on here. He's in the military. He was about 2 hours away from me in Augusta, Georgia. And so I went down there to go see him. And hopefully he watches this. We were going record shopping and antique store shopping. And by the end of the day, my eyes were killing me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't look at any more records. And all that stuff. But I tell you what, right now, you know, no pun intended, this is the title of the Elvis song. Like, I feel like my cousin's like my good luck charm. I always find good stuff with him. All the time. Always with him. And this is probably the ultimate thing I ever found with him. So we're in this antique store, like an antique mall type of thing. And he, my eyes are killing me. And we're probably about to go out the door. And he's like, and there was these 45s on like a J-hook type of thing. Like on these hooks. And he saw it. I wouldn't have saw it. Thank God he was there. He said, Johnny, do you have this? You ready for this? I got an original Sun 45. Let me tell you how excited I was. This is Mystery Train. Okay. With, I forgot to remember to forget. This is the last and final single Elvis did and released for Sun Records before he left the RCA. Granted, is it in the best shape? No, it is not. As you can see, there's writing on the label. It's wore out, the label on this side. It's missing some of the labels tore off. And the playing surface, I expected it to skip. And the playing surface, you know, beat the crap. But for something like this, it's just the rarity of it, you know? It really is. That's what it is, the rarity. And what's the chances of finding it in an antique store and all that stuff? And I thought it was going to skip. I expected it to. But I put it on my turntable, and it played all the way through. It has a little wave to it. And about the pressing of it. It is an original pressing, of course, but it did not come from Tennessee. How do I know that? Well, I looked at the markings on it. On this, it says MSI Co. That's a pressing plant out of Philadelphia. From what I understand, when Sun Records had like maybe an overwhelming, order of records, they would use this plant in Philadelphia to help them print their records. So this one doesn't have, I don't know if, I can't remember if the other version of this has like the stamp marks on it. But this one does not. This came from a Philadelphia plant. But are you ready for how much I paid for this? $5. I mean, like I said, is it in the greatest shape? No. But it's just a rarity of it. And I'm sure it's worth a hell of a lot more than $5. And it's just hard to find in general. I mean, they only sold these in the South. You know, this is before Elvis was a national star. I mean, I was just so stoked when I found this. When he found it for me. And I really thank him for that. If he watches this, I hope he does. I think my cousin's a subscriber of mine. So thanks, Alan. I love you, man. I'm proud of you with your military career and all your accomplishments. Okay, man. Love you. He's like a brother to me. So, but that's, you know what? That is my Elvis finds. And stay tuned for those Elvis videos I mentioned I would like to do. Maybe I can help you all out with some stuff and some resources that I know. So thank you all for watching this. And I will hopefully see you guys very soon. So see you all later, and bye. Bye.